Matthew the Apostle. St Matthew was born in 1st century AD in Capernaum. Matthew the Apostle, also known as St Matthew and as Levi, was, according to the New Testament, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus. According to Christian tradition, he was also one of the four evangelists and thus is also known as Matthew the Evangelist, a claim rejected by the majority of modern biblical scholars, though the traditional authorship still has its defenders. The Gospel of Matthew is anonymous. The author is not named within the text, and the superscription, according to Matthew, was added sometime in the 2nd century. The tradition that the author was the disciple Matthew begins with the early Christian bishop, who is cited by the church historians. Matthew collected the oracles in the Hebrew language and each one interpreted them as best as he could. On the surface, this has been taken to imply that Matthew's Gospel itself was written in Hebrew by the Apostle Matthew and later translated into Greek, but nowhere does the author claim to have been an eyewitness to events, and Matthew's Greek reveals none of the telltale marks of a translation. According to the Gospels, Matthew was a 1st century Galilean, the son of Alphaeus. As a tax collector, he would probably not have been literate and certainly could not write highly educated Greek. His fellow Jews would have despised him for what was seen as collaborating with the Roman occupation force. After his call, Matthew invited Jesus home for a feast. On seeing this, the scribes and the Pharisees criticized Jesus for eating with a tax collector and sinner. This prompted Jesus to answer, "I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance." The New Testament records that as disciple he followed Jesus and was one of the witnesses of the assassination of Jesus. Later, church fathers such as Clement of Alexandria claim that Matthew preached the gospel of the Jewish community in Judah before going to other countries. St. Matthew died in 1st century AD in Ethiopia, in Italy.